NASCAR fans, how you doing? William Crossland here, back with another episode of 2019's Race Review. And today we get to discuss the Quick Trip Folds of Honor 500 from Hotlanta, Atlanta Motor Speedway. So what we saw at Atlanta was sort of a preview of sorts of what we should see from the rest of the mile-and-a-half tracks this year. And it was a small preview because it's not the full 2019 package yet, and we'll see the full 2019 package next Sunday at Las Vegas. But this package gave us a slight preview of what we should expect going forward this season, and it's supposed to be a slight band-aid, if you will, of sorts until we finally get the Gen 7 car, which is expected to debut on track in 2021. Now, this new aero package is designed to get the cars closer together and provide better racing. And I think in terms of Atlanta Motor Speedway, if you look at the past 8 to 10 races at Atlanta, it's been a little forgettable, a little lackluster, but man, we finally had something to remember about the Atlanta race besides Kevin Harvick, 8-second gap. And it was really enjoyable, guys. I mean, I know it wasn't a perfect race, but I had fun with it, and you know what? It's a better race than the past 8 to 10 years, so it was really a decent race, especially for Atlanta, in my opinion. Now, yes, I have a couple of complaints about what we saw yesterday, particularly the beginning competition caution about lap 35. You know, I kind of understand where they're coming from and wanting to still have that because it did rain between final practice and the race, and I guess that's just something that's in the rule books, but really it really took out from the beginning of the race, and I didn't like that they felt the need to do the competition caution. I don't know why they call it a competition caution. It's just a forced caution, you know, and it kind of took away from the thrill of the race because it was getting really good. Stage 1, Aric Almirola was doing so well, and I was so proud of him. Aric Almirola got the pole, and he was leading, and then he came to the pits at the beginning of Stage 2 and got that speeding penalty and ruined his day. And he wasn't the only one yesterday that ruined the day for himself. One of the keynotes from Atlanta is that we had people passing for the lead. And that's something that fans and diehards have been asking for from the Gen 6, and we've been rejected. We haven't gotten it yet. And it's really an improvement to see that people in second could pass the lead car without talking about aerodynamics and being caught in dirty air. Now, I have a nitpick with the broadcast with Fox, and some other people did as well, where when they showed replays of the restart or replays of incidents or things like that, when it was still green flag conditions, they went to a full screen replay way more than once, and it was very it took away from, like, there's people that still want to see, including myself, I'm sure, and you do as well, hopefully, want to see the race at all times, you know, somewhere on the screen. And I think that was, I don't know what Fox's idea was there, but I really wish they wouldn't have had the full screen replays. You know, like, I understand if it was a caution period or you're covering a wreck, then yeah, it's okay to go to a full screen replay, but come on, man, not when it's green and we're still keeping our eye on the leader and everything like that. You know, you might miss something, and that would cause an even bigger outrage. So Kyle Larson really surprised me today of how well he did, you know, leading a lot of the race. And if it hadn't been for his pit road speeding penalty that sent him back to the back of the pack, besides the lap down cars, I think he would have had a shot at the win, and that would have been like the first time that a McDonald's sponsored car would have won a race since Jimmy Spencer in 1994. Hold on, I had to fact check myself there real quick, but yeah, it was 1994 with Jimmy Spencer in the 27 McDonald's car. Also, this race showed us that the best of the best can still dominate even with this different aero package, because we saw Kevin Harvick still being a dominator of sorts, you know, staying up there in the front. And I think if it hadn't been for the abrasive surface of Atlanta, his front left splitter wouldn't have been grinded up so much, and he might have had the car to stay up front. That brings up another point. Is it finally time to repave Atlanta? A lot of people have been saying it, and then a lot of people say, no, keep it how it is. It's the driver's track. It's fun to drive on. And but I do agree with some people that if we were to repave it, it would bring back pit strategy, because the way it is right now, every time you run a green flag run, and anytime there's a caution or a time to pit, you're going to take 4 fresh Goodyears, because you'd be crazy not to. The place is so rough on tires. You've seen pictures of those tires, and they're just look like they got mohawk haircuts on the rubber. And Ryan Blaney took the lead for a while in the final stage. Kind of got my hopes up that maybe he could pull out a win, but unfortunately that did not happen. Daniel Hemrick had a top 10 car. He was running in 5th in the final stage. Really nice performance for Daniel Hemrick, the rookie, with Richard Childress, until a problem arose and he had to come to pit road and sacrifice his position. Another rookie, Ryan Preece, was in the pits in the final stage, looking at his tack, making sure he was going the correct speed limit and avoiding a penalty in pit road, like a couple of other guys had fell under. Eric Almirola and Kyle Larson both facing pit road speeding penalties. BJ McLeod from Rick Ware Racing in the 52 pulled out right in front of him as Ryan Preece was charging up, and it collided right with him. So count that 2 weeks in a row that somebody from the Rick Ware Racing Ballet has caused problems to a potential good finish on pit road. So at the end of the day, at the end of the race, we've got what almost could have been one of those classic Atlanta finishes. You know, he got Brad Keselowski up front. Did we mention he had flu-like symptoms? I think Fox mentioned it enough. But anyway, Brad Keselowski was leading, and then Martin Truex Jr. right behind him. And Martin Truex Jr. was making some ground, you know, in the waning laps, but it didn't look like he had the juice, and he didn't know which lane he was going to pick in the final lap coming out of 2, and it just ran out of time. And I think if he had more laps, he would have caught up with him, but really just not enough time. And that gave Brad Keselowski the best chicken noodle soup you could possibly get, a win and a guaranteed ticket to the 2019 playoffs. So that was the Quick Trip Folds of Honor 500. And before we go any further, I have to use the meme because Brad Keselowski won this race. Can I get it?
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Thank you, post-editing. Next week, we will be at Las Vegas, and we finally get to see the full power of this fully armed and operational aero package. And I look forward to it, and I hope you are as well. So, I have another big announcement I will be making in a video all its own here soon. And also, I'll be putting out a NR 2002 Let's Play, which will be at Atlanta. Kind of funny because the 2002 schedule was flipped to this year's schedule, where last week in the series I was at Las Vegas. Next week the Real Cup schedule is at Las Vegas, but this next episode of NR 2002 Let's Play is at Atlanta, where we just finished up in 2019. It's confusing. The simple sentence I'm trying to say is NR 2002 Let's Play at Las Vegas with Mikey is coming up soon. If you haven't checked out the playlist, I really recommend you do. Description down in the doobly-doo, and Eric Keplinger will tell you that it's one of a kind. So that's all for this episode. Big announcement video coming up soon, and I can't wait to let you guys know what I've gotten the opportunity to do. Also, March 8th, I will be at the World of Outlaws late model dirt track race at Duck River Raceway Park. And this will be, believe it or not, this will be my first ever dirt track event to go to. So I will be documenting my experience there if I can, and hope to have a fun time there and try to do some reporting while I'm there, maybe for you guys. So that's all for this episode. Be sure to like this video if you liked it, and also subscribe for more NASCAR and motorsports content all season long. So until the next video, this is William Crossland. Thanks for listening.